marble sculptor. So long as you're happy, you'll be in just great shape. Now, to determine your income, everyone's happiness levels are measured every day to determine your happiness score. This means you can be making 7 figures one day, wake up on the wrong side of the bed the next, find yourself up a creek without a paddle.
You're the future. You don't have a job, you don't have a GPA. What you have is your happiness score, and that determines where your standing is in life.
We start with a bunch of sad, very sad characters. In the beginning, it's Dr. Lunari and her daughter, June.
She's very closed off to her daughter, and her daughter just wants attention because that's what children want from their parents. And then we flash forward to now June is in high school.
And then within the boarding school, 13 years later, we see 2 guys, best friends, Alex and Noah, who are getting their happiness reports and they're just really sad.
If they get out of school and their happiness score is low, their life will be miserable. That's not what they want.
That kind of stirs them to be like, oh, we need to find some way to crack the system. We need a happiness formula. And how do you do that? How do you get the happiness formula? You need to go find Dr. Lunari.
And then they find Dr. Lunari and yeah.
There's a lot of confrontation.
Mm-hmm. And cowboys.
It's a sort of futuristic Wizard of Oz where they go to the Emerald City, but in this case it's Dr. Lunari's lab to try to figure out how can they game the system so that they get what they want.
It's a beautiful day out there. We are playing these harmony. It's a beautiful day out there. Sing our song, happiness in the sea.
So we, as BXA students, we have to do a capstone project, and that could be anything. It was kind of advertised to us that like you could do something in your, in your expertise. So if you're, chemistry, you could do like chemistry experiment, whatever that may be. But I wanted to do something that was really going to show off my skills. And we were told that if it's something that if you want to do something else that's kind of over the realm of what you studied, that's totally fine. It should just show off something that you're passionate about, and that's exactly where I thought of writing a musical. I've always wanted to write a musical. One night I had this idea of a plot, and then I was told about the capstone project, and I brought it up to June. I was like, I have an idea for a musical, but I can't do this alone. Do you want to join me?
And I really like being able to make music and try and put the music on paper, and I thought this would be a really fun opportunity to do that. And then you had this whole plot general idea, and then we sort of just I feel like we went back and forth a lot of just oh, here we can
Because I remember to kind of go into it more. I remember I was lying awake one night and I was like, what if there was a story? Sometimes I just think of random ideas, and I was like, what if there was a world where your income was your happiness? And I was like, that's so silly, that doesn't make any sense. So then I started to think more about it, because it was kind of interesting to me still nonetheless. And then that night we talked about it, and I was like, okay, this is the world I want our musical to take place in, help me flesh it out. And that's when you were you're really good at picking the little plot holes that I wasn't finding.
Yeah, I remember we talked a lot about because I feel because originally I feel you wanted it to be about the world, but I feel as we talked more and more about it, we just ended up instead just coming up with these characters that were existing in the world, and it sort of just shifted into more about how are these the story of the characters as opposed to the story of the world, and the world was just a setting.
But it's more so based about the characters and how they perceive this world.
Yeah, because ultimately every story is just about people, right?
Yeah, exactly. So first thing we did was we kind of did a analysis of our characters. So what would their main themes be? I was very trying to be very thematic and very focused on their themes.
And that's probably when we came up with the What If song, or I Want songs.
So
too.
I Want songs. Yeah. So Will, his dilemma is, you know, logic versus emotion, right? That's the biggest thing. The trolley problem that he faces, and with June and whatnot. And then Dr. Lunari, it's like, what would you say Dr. Lunari's like battle is?
It's like, she feels alone.
Yeah.
And she wants to find someone like her.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And so we kind of outlined all of these kind of scenarios, and then after that we were able to kind of devise like a scene-by-scene synopsis of like what should happen in this scene, what should happen in this scene, given that these characters have to change from point A to point B. The show was first like conceived. The first idea was thought, I think, a year ago during last spring semester, and that was with my co-writer June. It was June and I for a while, even into the summer, and then last semester was when we started getting you guys together, right? It was the end of last semester, sorry, not last spring, and that was when we started thinking about who was going to do what, and when we were looking at the script a little bit more, we were still finishing up the songs.
Yeah, when I joined, some of the songs weren't like fully written out yet.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
So there was like a full script, but some of the songs weren't completed, and while the songs were being completed, Jocelyn and Jack were working on instrumentation.
Yeah.
Like actually making a score, which is something you don't really think about.
It was just a lot of moving parts at once, because originally part of the timeline was the main focus to get the team together was to pitch it to the organization at CMU Scotch and Soda. We were originally hoping to pitch it to them and have it put on for their carnival slot.
We unfortunately weren't able to get the help of Scotch and Soda, but we still wanted to put the show on, and so it was kind of a shift of, okay, so now we don't have the production managers, stage managers, and like the crew that Scotch and Soda kind of, like that network that Scotch and Soda has.
Yeah.
And so we started to pull from our own connections and, okay, what actors do you know that might be interested, and musicians, okay, some people are more vocally talented and some people are more dance talented, and just, it was a lot of networking, pulling people together on who would be interested in this project. And we were really lucky to get a lot of voice majors and vocal performance, and some people who had experience in Scotch and Soda. And yeah, it's a really wonderful team.
We knew that this would be asking a lot of somebody to take part in a production that is not affiliated with CMU. This is just a group of students who want to make something happen. So we reached out to many as people as possible and tried to just get as many people on board as possible.
Seeing the actors embody the characters and bring them to life was amazing to see, because, you know, there's only so much on paper that we can imagine.
I'm Nazmi. I'm a sophomore vocal performance major, and I play June.
And I'm Kira. I'm a sophomore vocal performance major, and I play Dr. Lunari.
June is like your classic angsty teenager, and she has like problems with her mom because her mom like abandoned her when she was a kid, so she kind of had to like grow up on her own and rely on herself. And she has a lot of emotions, but she's just like really like keeps to herself. But I think throughout the show she like learns to be more empathetic and feel bigger things with people. So.
And Dr. Lunari is a very, I don't think cold person, but she just wishes as though she could live in a world without any emotions, and that's why she builds everything in the first place. She has a very one-track mind, and that leads her towards making some interesting decisions that some people don't particularly agree with. I don't think she's a bad person, I just think she was not socialized properly in certain senses. Yeah.
Hi, my name is J.C. Goda. I am a sophomore studying statistics and machine learning in the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Within the show, I play the role of Will, the oil-drinking and funny robot. Will is this zany character that really likes to just be himself, you know, am I a robot? Am I a human? We don't really know throughout the entire show, right? And so the whole thing is that Will's just this absolute personality that's just authentically himself, whether he's teaching a class or leading the entire Wizard of Oz journey through the Emote land of Wisteria or whatever. Overall, I find Will to be this sort of outgoing, friendly, personable character, but he doesn't take anything too seriously, which I sort of reside in with my own personal beliefs.
Hi, I'm Mia. I am a vocal performance freshman, and I play Avery. Avery is certainly a character. She's very theatrical, as you can see. And she likes to put on this like show of like, oh, you know, like I'm like this big performer, yada yada yada. But really she is very insecure. And you know, she just doesn't really know if she's gonna be good enough for the world, but then, you know, at the end she realizes like, I don't have to be good enough for the world. I just have to be good enough for me.
Hi, my name is Winston Perry. I'm a sophomore in the vocal performance program, and I play Noah. Noah's this silly, quirky guy, I guess, who is not very happy. I mean, that's, I guess, the whole basis of the show, you know, because of his unhappiness and his best friend, Alex. They have to go on a journey and fix their happiness scores. And I don't think they ever quite accomplished that, but I think they do accomplish something greater, which is, I guess, universal happiness. So, yeah. Go team.
Do what makes you happy. In this world we live in, there's no choice but to be brave. You don't have to pretend. No need to feel crappy, just a little bit sappy. Believe me.
I don't think I have any words, right? It's like, it's been like probably one of the best experiences of my life so far. Like I feel like I've never done anything of this caliber before, and like it's really something that brought so many people together to make something like so special to me, and I hope so special to everyone else. And like it's been an honor working with Adim and all the creative team and all the cast and all the pit, just like so many different people, with all the videographer team. I cannot forget about you guys. Like everyone has so many different disciplines, and I think college is the best time to do stuff like this. You have so many different majors, so many different skill sets. Like it felt wrong not to do something that I'm passionate about in this, to not do it here with all these people, right? You know, especially during Tech Week, it showed people cared about this so much, and it wasn't much of a burden. I think people really enjoyed it, and it was really hard for me to see that. Just like, this isn't just something that I want to do, it's what everyone else wants to do too. Being a part of every single component, I've learned so much of what a production is, not just about, you know, the inner workings of writing it, but also just actually bringing it to life. I feel like I've learned so much from this team. It's been an honor.